April 2nd, 2025. Trump drops a tariff bombshell on the world. Markets crash, countries retaliate. Is this just tough talk or the start of a global economic meltdown? Good evening, friends. Welcome to Career Capsule. Trump's trade blitz uncovered. Is a global downturn inevitable? On April 2nd, 2025, Donald Trump announced sweeping tariffs affecting 90 plus countries, declaring, "Now it's our turn to do the ripping." He initiated a trade war. Global markets reacted with panic. On April 7th, stock exchanges from the US to Hong Kong plummeted. Trillions in value vanished. The conflict escalated as Trump imposed a 34% tariff on Chinese goods, prompting an equal response. He threatened an additional 50% if China didn't comply. By April 9th, both nations had imposed 84% tariffs. This wasn't policy, it was an economic standoff. Trump claimed America had been exploited for decades, but many fear these actions are pushing the world toward a serious recession. Instead of careful negotiations, this move is seen as confrontational, destabilizing, and potentially catastrophic for global economic stability. Can the global economy withstand such aggressive tactics, or are we heading for a collapse unlike anything seen in recent history? Global economic collapse triggered by tariff showdown. Tariffs are taxes on imports. If you buy a product from abroad, a tariff increases its price. For example, iPhones in India have a 15% import duty. Governments use tariffs for two reasons: revenue and protecting local businesses. Higher tariffs on imports can make local products more competitive. For instance, if foreign clothes are taxed, local brands become more attractive due to their lower price. It encourages consumers to buy domestic. While helpful in certain cases, especially in protecting emerging industries, tariffs can also hurt the consumer due to rising prices. When applied without coordination, they can disrupt supply chains and trade partnerships. Trump's approach, however, was unilateral and abrupt, sparking global reactions instead of cooperation. Tariffs can be beneficial, but only when used wisely, not as weapons of trade war, which is how Trump used them. Tariffs as economic armor: how developing nations shield their industries. Developing countries often use tariffs to protect young industries. One strong example is South Korea in the 1980s. Their rice farmers couldn't match the low prices of imports from the US and Vietnam, so South Korea limited imports and set high tariffs, over 500% in some cases. This made foreign rice expensive, allowing local farmers to compete. Alongside, the government invested in modernizing farms and educating farmers. Over time, the industry matured. As competitiveness increased, tariffs were lowered. But what if you're the exporter? If India sends pharmaceuticals abroad and the other country imposes steep tariffs, it hurts India's industry. That's the flip side. Tariffs help protect some but hurt others. The balance of protecting local industries without damaging international relations is delicate. Used temporarily and wisely, they can build domestic strength, but they must be monitored closely to avoid long-term damage. The trade tug-of-war: tariffs, conflict, and the need for dialogue. Tariffs often lead to retaliation. If one country raises import taxes, the other usually responds in kind. This can spark full-blown trade wars. Take India and South Korea. If Korea raises tariffs on Indian pharma, India may respond by taxing Korean electronics. This leads to tit-for-tat escalation. However, a better path is negotiation. Countries can discuss their vulnerabilities, like a developing industry, and make deals. This could include phase tariffs or time-bound protections. Trump skipped dialogue and went for domination. His Liberation Day tariffs on 90 countries triggered backlash. Retaliatory tariffs followed, and global diplomacy took a hit. Trade wars hurt everyone, especially in a connected world. Dialogue and compromise remain essential. Global economies must navigate the line between protection and cooperation. Otherwise, all sides suffer, and economic trust breaks down quickly. Fixing the trade gap, Trump's tariff gamble, and America's economic imbalance. Trump's tariff war was his answer to America's trade deficit. A trade deficit means a country imports more than it exports. For example, if the US buys $2 billion in goods from China but sells only $1 billion, the deficit is $1 billion. Trump saw this as unfair, so he imposed tariffs to push countries into fairer trade deals. To justify it, he declared a national emergency, calling the trade deficit a threat to national security. He slapped at least 10% tariffs on nearly every country, even those with balanced trade. India got 26%, Taiwan 32%, and China reached a shocking 125%. Critics say this was chaos, not strategy. There was little clarity on how tariffs were calculated. Countries felt unfairly targeted. Instead of fixing imbalances, Trump's policies deepened mistrust. The aggressive approach alienated allies and inflamed trade partners, leaving the US more isolated. A dangerous equation, the faulty logic behind Trump's tariff strategy. Shockingly, Trump's entire tariff logic may have stemmed from a math error. His team used a strange formula: divide the trade deficit by what the US exports to that country, halve the result, and use that as the tariff rate. For China, this meant 34%. But Trump thought China already imposed 67% tariffs, so he matched them at 34%. In reality, China didn't. Worse, the US applied tariffs to places like Heard and McDonald Islands, uninhabited land with no trade. Some joked Trump confused them with McDonald's, the fast food chain. But the reality is no joke. These blunders led to severe consequences. Countries retaliated, markets tanked, and diplomatic relations suffered. A simple mistake, left unchecked, snowballed into a global disruption. Policy, especially on a global scale, demands precision, not guesswork. This case proves how dangerous careless leadership can be in global trade. Economic crossfire. How trade retaliation hit Trump's home base. Retaliation was precise and painful. China, Canada, and Europe didn't respond randomly. They targeted industries in Trump voting regions. China raised tariffs on corn and cars. Canada taxed poultry and HVAC. Europe hit meatpacking and steel. The goal? Political pressure. If farmers and factory workers suffer, they pressure local politicians. Trump's support base began to feel the heat. Even US businesses were caught in the crossfire. Mr. Beast, a popular entrepreneur, tweeted that it's now cheaper to make chocolate outside America due to tariff costs on imported cacao. This highlights how complex global supply chains are. Even if a product is made in USA, its ingredients often aren't. Tariffs raise costs, reduce competitiveness, and force businesses to move operations abroad. Ironically, Trump's tariffs hurt the very people he aimed to protect, showing how unpredictable and self-harming trade wars can become. From boom to bust, how American tariffs shaped history, and disaster tariffs have a long US history. Initially, in 1789, they were 5%, used for revenue. Over time, They became tools for protectionism. But the worst case came in the 1930s. The Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act raised tariffs drastically to protect U.S. farmers during the Great Depression. Other nations retaliated. Global trade shrank. The Depression deepened. It's now widely accepted that these tariffs made the situation worse. Fast forward to today, Trump's moves echo that history. High tariffs, global retaliation, and shrinking trade are the same dangerous recipe. History warns us extreme protectionism rarely works. While short term benefits may exist, long term consequences often outweigh them. The interconnected global economy thrives on cooperation, not isolation. Trump's policies risk repeating the same mistakes from nearly a century ago. We should heed those lessons to avoid another global downturn driven by pride and poor planning. The road ahead. What Trump's tariff war means for the world's future. Trump's tariffs weren't just economic tools, they were political statements. With little international coordination, he imposed duties on 90 plus nations, triggering massive pushback. His strategy relied on aggression over diplomacy. But in today's globalized world, no country operates in isolation. Supply chains, businesses, and economies are interconnected. When one domino falls, others follow. Trade wars may aim to protect jobs, but they often end up destroying them. Industries reliant on exports get hit. Domestic consumers face rising prices. Allies feel betrayed. Global trust erodes. Moving forward, cooperation is essential. The world needs transparent policies, open communication, and mutual respect. Trump's tariffs serve as a warning. Acting alone, especially on flawed assumptions, leads to global uncertainty. Whether future leaders learn from this remains to be seen. But the cost of ignoring history could be catastrophic for everyone. Trump's trade moves and market chaos. Who really benefits? Each time Trump tweeted about tariffs, markets soared or crashed. Stocks in key sectors jumped or plummeted. Some insiders profited fast. This raised serious questions. Were these announcements timed to benefit allies or inside traders? Could such moves be part of a calculated game rather than genuine policy? While there's no concrete proof, suspicion lingers. Volatility benefits hedge funds and short sellers. Sudden market shifts create opportunities for those with prior knowledge. If Trump or his allies knew market reactions and profited, that's criminal, not just unethical. This blurs the line between policy and manipulation. Democracy demands transparency. Without it, economic power becomes a tool for personal gain, hurting public trust and everyday people. That's all. Thank you. Jai Hind.